Oh, Daddy made a boo-boo. I left all that flat white paint in my fancy Tamiya airbrush last night when I was done doing these highlights. Oh God, I'm an idiot sometimes. Don't agree with me too quickly though. I might no. Very few things insult me. Besides asking a question and getting the correct answer and arguing with it. That's always a fun one. So we're just gonna clean this guy out. It's my nice Tamiya airbrush. I know I'm throwing it around, but yeah, guys, don't leave paint in your airbrush overnight. Thank God I had a little cap on the gravity feed bowl, or else this would have been a complete and utter disaster. So I'm going to spend the next couple minutes cleaning this thing out, and then we're going to lay down some legit olive drab on this boy. Little XF62. Well, a lot of XF62. I don't know how many jars of this I bought. I think I bought 3 or 4. I hope I did. Do I only have... No. That's 62 olive drab. 62 olive drab. 62 olive drab. 62 olive drab. Oh yeah, I've hit the jackpot here, boys. I got olive drab coming out of my ears. Okay. Hopefully, and there. Hopefully all that's enough. Yeah, that's going to be more than enough. This thing isn't an Abrams. It's much smaller. Get this whole schmagegi painted. Oh, so while I'm doing this boring work of cleaning my airbrush, I am going to talk about a couple useful things. My train of thought last night that I lost, thank you, Mr. Beer, that was that I ordered some Rust-Oleum Plasti-Dip, basically Plasti-Dip, but Rust-Oleum's version, because they have a matte black rubberized Plasti-Dip. So I ordered that, and I'm going to figure out some way to paint the rubber tires on the wheels using the Plasti-Dip. And that's why I was pulling out my Henglong bastardized Abrams test tank, is because I can take wheels off that. I have some spare other wheels floating around from some other spare parts runs I did on the eBays, and I'll test different ways to apply Plasti-Dip tires, since it seems to me is done with the whole rubber tire fad. They're like, no guys, it's just not in style anymore. No more rubber tires. So if we got to come up with our own better way of doing this, then we might as well, and I'll try to help out with part of that. You know, you never know when you get an airbrush clean when it's full of white paint, because your paper towels are white. And I don't. Oh yeah, I just sprayed my fingernail. That looks, it's like skim milk. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Mr. Fancy Tamiya airbrush. You got goop all over you. It doesn't come up. So we're gonna Plasti-Dip the tires on there. I mean, if it works good enough for the Dip Your Car channel for all this fancy Audis and whatnot down in Miami, then you know it should be good enough for a set of plastic road wheels. All right. Well, that's clean enough. We're just gonna get it dirtied again with some OD green, and I'm gonna be very careful to thin the paint just right this time, because I don't want it spritzing out all over the place like a maniac. Alright, let me load her up and start painting. Alright guys, I don't know, when I feel like I have a tip that I haven't seen before, I like to share it. Now, mind you, I don't get out much, okay? So, I mean, Andy's Hobbies headquarters, I love that guy. I watch a little bit of Night Shift. I don't know, it's intimidating almost to watch. But for road wheels, so I find the easiest way to spray the road wheels, and I don't care about getting a little paint on myself, is just spinner. Just spinner while you're going. And it paints them nice and quick, and we really don't necessarily care about the inside all that much, but it lets you get the insides as well if you give a little time to dry between. So we're getting that. And like, there you go. It's pretty damn simple. And then the middles, I mean, we don't really care about the middles all that much. But, you know, we'll hit those, and I spin those too. And it just makes quick work of one of the least seen parts on the tank. So, and then, I need a third arm. Not Mini-Me from Austin Powers. That guy definitely was a tripod, apparently. Okay, so, I'm going to try to get this propped up a little bit so you can see it-ish. Okay, so we have the white shadow coat. I mean, and Andy's gone over this, and numerous other people online. Let me get a little bit of that, and a little more here. So we want to just do enough where there's a highlight and a shadow coat to, like, almost completely cover it, but you still see that little light-ish area. That's what we're going for. If you go too heavy, don't worry. You know, it's a tank, whatever. Again, painted by a bunch of potheads in an anti-war shirt in a tank factory somewhere. But we just want just the subtlest little hint of lightness. It shows up a little more on camera. You'll probably see a lot more of it when I do the top. But I wanted to share my wheel painting technique, if that's what we want to call this. Basically airbrush, spin the bottle. Oh, she needs a lot more paint than that one. And she's about to go over. But yeah, that's Ian's tip of the day for you. Two Scullies catches of the day. If you know what movie that's from, with John Candy, bonus to you. Answers in the comments. No prizes will be awarded, other than I will like your comment and say, you know just as much useless information about 80s movies as I do. So that's the whole bottom's already done. She's nice and green. I gotta hit. Oh, might as well. Whatever. We're gonna paint those tires black anyway. Doesn't matter if that paint gets messed up. Just I'm gonna hit this edge here. All this plastic is gonna be sticking out most likely a little bit, gappy as we've said. So we might as well hit that. And that's that. So bottom's done, and onto the sexy bits. The upper. I'll be BRB. Okie dokie, we're back. So again, you know, you just want just enough green, or whatever your body color is going to be, to mostly block out the white highlights on the shadow coat. If you go too thick, whatever, you know, it is, we're not all perfect in this world. Far from it. I mean, I'm a little more perfect than some, but far less perfect than others. So, there we go. I mean, really, that's what reality TV is all about, is really raising your self-esteem somewhat. One show will tear it down, and then one show will build you right back up. So you watch, like, Keeping Up with the Kardashians or whatever they are, and then you'll be all like, wow, people are rich and pretty. And you're like, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh God, what did I do wrong in life? I should have studied harder. And then you go and watch something like Live PD or Cops, and you're like, I am a pillar of society here. It's just fantastic. So you know, yeah, again, you know, we're like watching paint dry. I'm trying not to go too heavy, and if you can't get the paint in every nook and cranny, that's fine. That's why you do a shadow coat. It's to highlight the nooks and crannies. Speaking of nooks and crannies, what's your guys' take on store-brand English muffins? I'm not for them. I'm a Thomas's man, through and through, as far as English muffins goes. But those crazy Brits, they really stepped over the line when they tried to make bagels. Because those things are terrible, man. If you think they're good, it's okay. I get it. My in-laws recently moved to a part of Georgia about, you know, 45-ish minutes away from the city where we are, in Atlanta here, and we're trying to find good pizza to bring over. Good pizza. This is a New Yorker talking here, from the Bronx, okay? Finding good pizza in Georgia is like, oh God, I don't even have an analogy funny enough for that one. It's just like finding a Hyundai dealer. It's not going to try to screw you over on the lease of your new Tucson. But finding good pizza in Georgia is an interesting dichotomy of reverse psychology. So what you do is you Google or Yelp or whatever for the pizza places in the area, and you read the reviews, and you sort from the bottom down. Yeah, you want the worst review, because all the 5-star reviews and higher, they're all for like Papa John's and Little Caesars. Nobody wants that crap. And if you think that's amazing pizza, God, oh please, come by, I'll buy you a slice. We got some decent stuff I found here. But yeah, we found the worst reviewed pizza shop in all of this area of Georgia. And it was not a chain, obviously. And I'll be damned, it was great pizza. It was pretty fantastic. You know, if you've got pizza stories from other parts of our fine country, feel free to share them. You know, my comments area is fairly barren, except for, you know, the few fans I do seem to have, who apparently just smoked a lot of weed and watched all the Seinfeld when they were kids. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. Oh, sheboygans. I am, okay. Very carefully. See, we get that nice faded effect right from jump. It's a little more dramatic on camera. In person, in lighting in my eyes, it's fairly subtle. I might just mist over the whole thing a little bit more, just in the lighter areas. But I'll tell you, that Andy, he's a good teacher. I've had a couple teachers like him over the years. Just a happy, friendly guy who loves what he does and enjoys sharing his knowledge with others. And it's the type of person I truly appreciate in this world. Back to my pizza. Wait, English muffins? Bagels. Where was I? I just had dinner. We had chicken wings from Publix. They were delicious. And the engine grates. Go a little darker. Yeah. So it's kind of weird. You know, New York, you could kind of throw a rock in the air and hit a good pizza place. Oh, out of friggin' paint again. Okay, well, on my second baby, don't forget to shake your paint vigorously. Make sure the cap's tight. You don't want to be shaking your paint and have an unfortunate ejaculation there. Load that little cup up. I should have gotten the bigger cup for this sucker. I mean, when they design these airbrushes, they're building them for the, you know, the more fine scale modelers. The 15th scale, the 72nd scale, crew. I'm here using a adjustable 0.2 millimeter airbrush to just carpet bomb this thing in OD green. Where was I? See, it keeps happening to me. At least I remembered about the plasti dip tonight. Actually, I remembered it last night, but I just didn't have the will in me to come back downstairs and pretend I just caught it at the last minute. And I mean, I would have felt like a charlatan. That's a word we don't use enough anymore. Charlatan! It's like witch. You know, people are complaining about racism and classism and everything. I mean, imagine getting called a witch out in public. I mean, that was an instant death sentence. It's like, prove you're not a witch. I'm not a witch. There's only one way. If she burns, she's not a witch. That was an interesting litmus test for witchery. Is setting somebody on fire. History's an interesting beast, I'll tell you. Oh wow, this is, you know, guys, I'm really pleased with how this guy's coming out so far. It's looking pretty good. We're just gonna, yeah, a little more. Yeah, all right. You know, some areas you're gonna get a little more green than we want, but it's okay. Again, not an exact science. Oh yeah, English muffin, store brand. No. And definitely butter. Butter, not margarine. I'm sorry. You know, I can't believe it's not butter. Okay, I can't believe it's not hydrogenated vegetable oil or something. Just, no thank you. Look at this guy coming along. I mean, the painting is the easy part. It's the weathering. That's where you're going to spend the rest of your adult life and 3 divorces to get through is weathering all these things. I've still got a tank I haven't even weathered. I'm building and painting this guy because, you know, everyone online was super excited. So was I. I mean, I'll be honest, little vain of me, I wanted to be the first guy on YouTube with one of these sexy little buggers all painted up and looking hot and ready for action. But yeah, I still have to weather my Japanese Type 10. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty cool, guys. That's pretty nice. Let's get a little under here, the bottom of the mantlet. And again, they say paint hides most sins. Well, weathering hides a lot of paint sins. Once you get around to, you need a little extra there. There we go. It's looking a little, and then the weathering washes and streak and grime and all that good stuff. That's gonna again subtle out and dull down these highlights we have from the white paint underneath. Not those engine grills. That just looks weird. Too light. Okay. Let's take a look around here. Let's see what we're... Put this guy away. Okay. Just looking pretty decent. Again, the video, it doesn't come out quite the same. It looks a little... It's not quite this drastic. It's much subtler in person. So I'm just looking for spots that I missed. And again, you know, once you do the NATO black, especially if you're doing a darker color, like a NATO or an OD green or browns or whatever, it's like you barely even have to paint the thing. It's pretty. We got to get a little more on that gun shield. A little more on that guy. See the little gun shields? Yeah. Looking pretty good. Okay. Back of the searchlight. My favorite part, searchlight. Daddy, I got my searchlight. I love you. You're the best. And I can thank my dad for this tank in a way, because, you know, he inspired me to be what I am. Blah, 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 blah. No one wants to hear that crap, Ian. I know, I get it. You know, but love you, Dad. And love you too, Mom, for keeping Alan out of my hair. Let's see here. No, she's the best mom ever. Not the best cook, but definitely the sweetest woman in probably the universe. Lately, my mom's Irish, my dad's Jewish. The Jews are the complainers, as you know. But lately, my mom, wow, she got her master's degree in Jewish complaining. She can't go anywhere anymore without, I think the waiter looked at me funny. I didn't like their attitude. My soup was like 4 degrees too cool. I don't know. All right, there we go. Let's do this. Let's go get our lower. And we shall, yeah, why not? I'm going to unfurl this beast. I could always remask this later if I need to. We got a whole mess. There we go. There we are. All right. Out of your sleeping bag, buddy. Okay. Everything came out unscathed. And we can go ahead and I'm just going to slop this in here right now. I'm not going to really attach anything. Again, it really... Well, she'll snap down when I screw her down. But, there we are, guys. We have got a, mostly painted, I mean, just looking pretty snazzy. Probably use just a shot of... Okay, so my gaps are much better now. I went and pulled in on the front and rear plates a little bit while, like, loosening and retightening the screws. And they pulled in pretty nicely. I think when I get the back actually fastened with machine screws, she's gonna look pretty fine. But yeah, there we are. This has been a short video. I'm probably gonna do a second video tonight, unrelated directly. This tank will be featured, but will not be. Will it be featured? No, it won't be featured at all in the other video. I'm going to attempt to do a programming how-to for this fancy new fine spec 2.4 gigahertz radio from Tamiya, the TTU-09, which has 10 storable function buttons. Yeah, I know. Other companies have been doing this for years. I get it. I'm a purist. I've got to have a Futaba radio, and if not a Futaba, I've got to have the Tamiya, because we know Futaba makes them, and I just like their stuff. I'm used to just the feel of their plastic. I don't know. The smell of the battery compartment. I don't know what it is that does it for me, but I just love to have a nice Futaba radio. When I was starting out in RC, we had Airtronics and High-Tech and JR and Futaba. And no matter which way you sliced it, the Futaba was always the bee's knees. It was always, you're cool if you've got the fancy Futaba radio. Like, I mean, back in the day, if you had... Where is that sucker? We got it. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a little flashback for the old school people. The Futaba 3PJ Super, the Magnum. I mean, when it's got Magnum written on it. And this has got the 2.4 gigahertz upgrade module. So you have two antennas. Come on. It's crazy looking. This was my race radio back in the day when I used to compete. I was a contender. I took the A-main at something, but I had famous people painting race car bodies for me. I had one of the editors of RC Car Action magazine, one of my old buddies, Mr. Hastings. He painted a Toyota Le Mans body for my HPI Super Nitro in his hotel room that basically won the concours. I mean, if that's not a contender, I don't know what is, guys. Either that or I knew where all the good food was, so people liked hanging out with me back then. But yeah, that's cool. Too bad you can't drive a tank with this. Yep, actually, no, it's only 3 channels. Can't do it. But either way, we're gonna do a how-to. Okay, so keep an eye on my channel. I'm going to post links on the forum. I don't know where else to post them. There's not like an RC radio group on Facebook, and model makers and tank porn on Reddit doesn't really give a flying poop about how to use one of these. So it'll just be for my forum people, and that's that. But right now, this girl's finished up good. I'm going to clear off the workbench a little. I'm going to bring in another model, and I'm going to figure out how to program this radio, because I have no idea. I gotta read the damn manual. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, do a how-to. I'm like, sure, no problem. Oh boy. We'll get there. Alright, either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed the painting tonight with the quasi-tutorial. This was a very easy paint job. It's just OD green. I wish I really recorded doing the camouflage on my Japanese Type 10, but either way. Tune in for a radio video if you want. I may put a link there. I don't know. It'll just be on the channel. It'll be on the forums. And if you're a subscriber, one of the 24 lucky souls in this universe, you'll see it on my channel. Alright, guys. That's it for this one. Talk to you soon. Oh, I recorded more after I started squeezing it together, and I had some kind of GoPro fail. I don't know if it's the stupid app or whatever, but either way. Here she is. She's a little drier than she was when I first recorded this part of the video, and I'm sure I recorded something funny, but you know, I don't have any scripts here to read back from and go, what did I forget to say or joke about? But yeah, this is just with the OD green on top of the shadow and highlight coat, and we're gonna have to clear this. Now, I usually flat clear everything. But for this guy, I bought some. Where is it? Let me find this. Okay. All right. I bought this. The Hobbytown USA in Marietta, Georgia, Or is it Kennesaw, Georgia? Whatever it is. It's near Atlanta. It's northwest of the city by a little bit. It's the biggest hobby town USA in the USA. So they should just call it something. But yeah, it's big. Big isn't always better, though, because, you know, you'll go to Home Depot, and you can't find a single person that knows. They think this is how I lost the last of my footage last time I was recording. Either way, I was saying something about, I usually flat coat tanks, but I went to Hobbytown USA in Kennesaw, or Marietta, Georgia. Biggest hobby town USA in the country. If I repeated myself just now, I don't know what recorded and what didn't. This GoPro's freaking out of me. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a firmware update. But I got a clear semi-gloss because Vietnam was not a fun place to be, but it was also very, very moist. It was moist, and a lot of the stuff I'm kind of seeing a bit of a sheen on things there. So, you know, these didn't get dusty. They got muddy, but they were always rained on. And then the rain would go through the tree canopy. It was kind of rainforesty, so I'm figuring a lot of mossy, slimy residue, which is why I went and bought this stuff, Dark Grime from Vallejo. I got some of this. I got some other interesting things. Oil stains, desert. But yeah, I got. Oh yeah, here we go. This is cool stuff. This is Slimy Grime. So this guy, I'm gonna hit this thing like Slimer's biatch in Ghostbusters. I'm gonna slime it. So I'm gonna give it a clear semi-gloss coating over here, and I'm gonna decal it, and you know, or I'll flat it and then decal it and then semi-gloss it, whatever it is. And then I'm gonna slimer. I'm gonna slimer with slimy dark green and slimy grime dark, and you know, I'm gonna do some mud. I got some mud here I can drive it through. Put that in a little cookie sheet and just roll her back and forth in the tracks, and then dab a little into the wheels. We're gonna make her good and grimy. I had something funny happen. I think it was in my radio review video that I also shot tonight. Hopefully that damn thing came out, because I cannot come back down here. Guys, this stuff comes out of me one time, okay? Whatever I lost in the video segments that I just lost and realized that it's lost are gone. They're gone. There was my short-term memory for snark and conjecture and random conversation. It's very that is, yeah, no. It's a precious, it's gone in a fleeting moment, like catching a snowflake. It melts in your hand and is no more, and there will never be another one just like that snowflake. That's kind of like the weird stuff that comes out of my mouth. It may never happen again, and if it does, it's probably not going to be the same way. You never know. But, you know, either way, it is what it is. So, we're going to, next episode, sorry, next part, we're going to clear coat her. We're going to apply decals. Decals. Who says decals? Somebody said decal. And we're going to paint the rubber tires on, like I said, with the Plasti Dip from Rust-Oleum with the matte black finished Plasti Dip. I'm going to try it. If not, I just use Tamiya rubber black. It's fine. Once that's dry, I'm going to clear that. We're going to throw the tracks back on, throw some decals, like I said, decals on it. Clear over those decals again with anything but Tamiya clear, because that stuff eats decals. Why would Tamiya make a decal out of a particular material and then make a clear coat and sell that and know it destroys your decals? I don't know. That's a little mystery. But the guys at Hobbytown USA, they know everything at this Hobbytown USA. They impress the hell out of me with their knowledge. They are avid modelers. You know, I'm like, hey, why don't you have any Tamiya, you know, X20A thinner anymore? Like, oh, you know, the California Proposition 65 cancer stickers weren't on a bunch of stuff and didn't come in the country. It's why it's like apparently people are hoarding Tamiya extra thin cement now. Yes. There's a guy that has like 80 bottles of this in a drawer in his hobby room. I saw it on the forums today. It was pretty hilarious. So, but those guys know everything. I've never asked them a question they didn't have a good, convincing answer to. So I'm going to do the semi-gloss clear. It's going to be a little sheeny, and we'll dull it down with whatever we have to do. If I don't like it, hell, just after I'm all done, hit it with the flat, and I'm fine. But I want to try to be a little bit period correct with the paint on this thing. Hence my comments about potheads and anti-war shirts painting these in the factory. Is probably what it was. So, the ball bearings. Oh, shear rolls. So nice. That's about it. So, I'm going to go back now to the nerdery where I just realized I lost a couple segments of video. I'm also posting a how-to video on the Tamiya Fine Spec radio with all the little function buttons and everything. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. Good video. You want to watch it. You get to see my Japanese Type 10 in action, even though it's not weathered yet, because I'm building this already. It's like, oh, I finally fell into love with weathering and detailing and adding stowage when I was doing my Abrams, and I was all psyched up, and I did that Type 10, and then they announced this damn thing getting released, and I got on that pre-order list, lickety-split, and I got it, and then it's everyone wants to see everything, and I want to make you guys happy. I just like making people happy. I'm in a customer service profession, you could loosely term it, so, you know, I'm always about making the customer happy, and in this case, the customer is you guys watching these videos on my channel. It's not my job, it's my passion. Originally my passion was what I now do for work, and I don't want to do any of that when I get home. I want to do this because it is nothing like what I do at work. Well, mostly. Sometimes I put electronic things together, but mostly it's completely different than what I do for a living. If I could build model tanks on YouTube for a living, Andy, well, you also have a hobby shop. I mean, I'm assuming you really, really, really just love it, and you haven't gotten sick of models and modeling by having a hobby shop and having a YouTube hobby channel. But you know, keep strong, brother. I'm rooting for you. I do like what I do. I get a big high out of sense of accomplishment. So getting a task done, getting a problem fixed, making a person happy, big deal for me. Also, like I said, you know, Thomas's English muffins, good pizza, good bagels, the occasional beer or seven. Yeah. So okay, this is reshot footage. So if things don't line up just right and you don't see I'll be right back at the end of kind of where it cuts. That's what happened. Everything kind of just on the GoPro. I'm gonna thanks little brother. Appreciate the GoPro. It's been working flawlessly until episode now. So, alright guys. Peace out. Ian signing off.